Why is it, do you think, you can't lock in like some people do? Get your shit together, buy that house, get that Lambo, retire your parents. Are these things not meant for you? Is it fate or destiny or good old self-sabotage? I say it's self-sabotage. You see, whenever you watch a motivational video or get motivated through any means, you have that drive to do shit, but that only lasts for so long, and then you lose interest and go back to your old ways. Why is that? Well, the neuroscience behind self-sabotage centers on your brain's preference for predictability over progress. When you move towards something uncertain, like a big goal, a lifestyle change, your amygdala interprets it as a threat. Not because it actually is dangerous, but because it's unknown. That stress response pushes your prefrontal cortex, responsible for long-term planning, offline, making you reach for immediate comfort rather than future rewards. Your nervous system isn't broken, it's doing exactly what it was trained to do, which is keep you in familiar territory even when that territory is holding you back. Fear plays a dual role. Research shows that 39% of the relationship between high expectations and negative emotions is mediated through fear of failure. Meanwhile, studies reveal that over 40% of people report fearing failure and making mistakes between 20 and 40% of the time at work, with this figure jumping to 60 to 70% among younger, highly educated professionals. Add imposter syndrome to the mix, which affects a staggering 62% of health service providers globally, and you've got a recipe for chronic self-sabotage. The million-dollar question is, how do you stop? Well, I have a list of 10 science-backed solutions that will most definitely work when implemented correctly. Number 1, understand your brain isn't broken. It's just wired for safety. More than anything, your brain wants to keep you safe. Not successful, not rich, not accomplished, safe. And safe means familiar. That business you want to start? Threat. That body transformation you're chasing? Threat. That financial freedom you dream about? Massive threat. Because your brain has kept you alive doing exactly what you're doing right now. Why risk it? When you try to do something new, your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, screams danger and floods your system with stress hormones. Your logical brain shuts down. You suddenly forget why you wanted the goal in the first place. You talk yourself out of it. You scroll your phone instead. You find excuses. That's actually not a weakness, and you're not a quitter. That's your survival wiring treating your dreams like a predator. Here's what to do. You need to make the unfamiliar feel familiar before you can act on it. Take 5 minutes every morning before you get out of bed and mentally rehearse your day as your future self. Close your eyes, visualize yourself doing the hard thing. It could be working out, making sales calls, studying, whatever. See it in detail. What are you wearing? What time is it? How does your body feel? What do you say to yourself when it gets hard? Do it again at night before sleep. Same 5 minutes, same mental movie. You're not daydreaming, you're preloading the pattern into your brain so when the moment comes, it's not unfamiliar anymore. In fact, athletes who use mental rehearsal improve performance by 13 to 20% without any additional physical practice. Weird, right? Well, not exactly. You see, your brain can't fully distinguish between vivid mental practice and real practice, so you're literally rewiring your threat response through visualization. Get a journal, something like the 5-minute journal that has morning and evening prompts. Write 3 sentences every morning like, today I will do A, B, C at this specific time because I am a person who shows up for myself. At night, write what you actually did. This creates a feedback loop between intention and reality. It's that simple. Number 2, rewrite your identity before changing your habits. You keep failing because you're trying to act like someone you're not. You say, I want to be healthy, while your identity is, I'm someone who eats like shit. You say, I want to be rich, while your identity is, I'm always broke. Every action you take either confirms or challenges your identity. When there's a mismatch, identity wins. Always. Research shows that people who shift their identity first maintain behavior change at 73%, while people chasing outcomes only hit 28%. That's not even close. You see, identity-based change is 2.6 times more effective because you're not fighting yourself anymore. Here's what you want to do. Pick one identity statement that makes your stomach clench a little bit because it feels too big to claim. I am a disciplined person.
I am someone who finishes what they start. I am healthy and strong. Whatever scares you is probably the right one. Write it on your phone's lock screen. Make it your computer password. Put it on a sticky note on your bathroom mirror. You need to see it 50 plus times per day until it stops feeling fake. After that, you need to collect evidence. You're building a case file proving your new identity is real. Buy a cheap wall calendar or use the habit tracker notebook and mark an X for every action that proves the identity. If you're a disciplined person, then making your bed counts. Skipping the snooze button counts. Doing one push-up counts. These aren't the behaviors of someone trying to be disciplined. These are the behaviors of someone who is disciplined. Your brain also needs quantity. After you've marked 50 X's, roughly 2 weeks of small daily actions, something clicks. The identity starts feeling true. After 100 X's, it's undeniable. After 200 X's, it's who you are. The actions that felt impossible before now feel natural because they match your self-concept. Stop setting goals. Start collecting evidence. Identity-based habits are 2.6 times more effective at maintaining behavior change than outcome-focused approaches. It's that simple. Number 3, leverage temptation bundling to hijack your reward system. Your brain runs on dopamine. No dopamine, no motivation. Period. The stuff you avoid, like working out, studying, meal prep, difficult work, gives you zero dopamine. The stuff you crave, like Netflix, junk food, social media, and video games, floods your system with dopamine. Your brain isn't stupid. It goes where the reward is. But here's the hack. You can pair the hard thing with the rewarding thing, and your brain releases dopamine for both. Research shows this works so well that people who got gym-only access to addictive audiobooks increased gym attendance by 51% immediately and sustained a 29 to 31% increase long-term. They literally started craving the gym because their brain associated it with the pleasure of the audiobook. So what's the action plan here? Make 3 non-negotiable rules and write them on your phone's home screen. Rule 1. I only watch a specific show you're obsessed with while working out or walking. Not on the couch, not in bed, only while moving your body. Rule 2. I only listen to a favorite podcast or audiobook while doing productive tasks like cleaning, cooking healthy food, commuting, or organizing. Never while scrolling or lounging. Rule 3. I only allow a guilty pleasure activity, maybe it's a specific snack, online shopping, or gaming, after completing a specific hard task. 1 hour of deep work, a workout, a sales call. Now, the rule is sacred. Break it once and your brain learns it can get the reward without the work. Game over. Stick to it religiously for 30 days and your brain rewires. The hard task becomes the trigger for the dopamine hit. You can also get a Pomodoro timer, the physical cube kind you flip, or download an app like the Forest app, which gamifies focus sessions. You work for 25 minutes on the hard thing while consuming your temptation, podcast, show you love, music, then take a 5-minute break. The timer creates structure, so you're not deciding when to start. You're just flipping a cube and getting your dopamine. It's that simple. Number 4, build an accountability system that actually works. Did you know that 92% of people who set goals fail to achieve them? You've probably been in that 92% multiple times. Why? Because you're only accountable to yourself, and you've already proven you'll let yourself off the hook. You're too easy on you. But when you tell someone else you're going to do something and schedule a time to report back, success rates jump to 95%. Not 10% better, not 20% better, 95%. That's not a small improvement. That's the difference between chronic failure and near certain success. Here's what you do. Text someone right now, not later, right now. Someone who has their shit together or is at least working on their goals. Someone you trust. Say, I need an accountability partner. 15-minute call every Monday at 7 a.m. We each report our 3 commitments for the week and whether we hit last week's targets. You must get someone who won't let you off the hook. 1 call every week, same time. No exceptions. Add money to make it hurt. Every commitment you miss costs you $25 to your partner and vice versa. Suddenly, that 6 a.m. workout matters because failing costs you money and respect. Consider using apps like Stick or Beamminder. These are designed specifically for accountability with financial stakes. Adding a specific accountability appointment increases goal achievement from 43% to 95%. The thing is, most people need pressure from outside to overcome the pressure to quit from inside. That's not weakness. That's human nature. Use it. It's that simple.
Number 5. Use implementation intentions to bridge the gap between intention and action. Every time you say, I'll work out more, or I'll eat better, or I'll study harder, you're setting yourself up to fail. Why? Because when the moment comes, your brain has to make a decision. Do it now or later. And funny enough, whether tired, stressed, hungry, or distracted, you will always choose later. That's not a character flaw. It's something we call decision fatigue. Every decision depletes your willpower. However, implementation intentions remove the decision. What you need is called if-then plans, and they automate your behavior. For instance, if X happens, then I immediately do Y at a specific location. Research across 94 studies shows these specific plans increase goal achievement with an effect size of 0.65. Translation, you're dramatically more likely to actually do the thing. Here's what to do. Pick your 3 most important goals. For each one, write one implementation intention using this exact formula. When a specific trigger happens, I will immediately do a specific action at a specific location. For instance, you can write, when my 6 a.m. alarm goes off Monday, I will immediately put on my workout clothes without touching my phone and do a 20-minute YouTube workout in my living room. Or, when I sit at my desk at 9 a.m. on weekdays, I will open a specific project file and work for 90 minutes before checking emails or messages. Or, when I finish dinner every night, I will immediately put on my walking shoes and walk outside for 15 minutes before going to bed. Write these 3 statements on an index card. Read them out loud every morning when you wake up. Before bed, mentally rehearse them. You're programming the trigger action sequence into your subconscious. It's that simple. Number 6, track progress obsessively. Visibility fuels motivation. You're flying blind right now with your goals. You have no idea if you're making progress because you're not measuring anything. And what doesn't get measured doesn't improve. You see, your brain needs visible evidence of forward movement, or it assumes you're wasting your time and pulls motivation. Research shows that people who track their progress and write down their goals are over 40% more likely to achieve them compared to people who don't. So, buy a massive wall calendar, the kind you can see from across the room, and hang it somewhere you pass multiple times daily: bathroom door, bedroom wall, kitchen. Pick your most critical habit. One habit. Every single day you complete that habit, draw a giant red X on that day. Your only job is to not break the chain. After 3 days, you'll have momentum. After 7 days, you'll have a streak worth protecting. After 30 days, you'll have an identity level change. Breaking a 30-day streak feels like losing a piece of yourself, so you won't. For goals with numbers like money saved, weight lost, pages written, etc., create a simple tracking spreadsheet. Every Sunday evening at the same time, record 3 numbers: the starting point, current position, and target destination. Calculating your percentage progress, like I'm 23% of the way there, is concrete compared to I'm working on it, which is inherently meaningless. For this, you can use tools like Notion or Tability to build visual dashboards that update automatically, or get the Habit Tracker notebook and physically check boxes daily. Writing down goals and tracking progress increases achievement rates by more than 40%. The physical act of marking completion releases dopamine, creating positive reinforcement. Set a weekly 10-minute progress review. Every Sunday, ask yourself 2 questions. What worked well enough to repeat? What needs to change? Then make adjustments based on actual data, not feelings. The tracking itself drives behavior. When you know you have to mark the calendar or update the spreadsheet, you do the thing just to get the checkmark. The checkmark becomes the reward. It's that simple. Number 7, sleep like your success depends on it, because it does. You can't win if you're running on 5 to 6 hours of sleep, period. Sleep deprivation obliterates your decision-making ability. According to research, impairment starts after just 8 hours of sleep deprivation and gets worse from there. When you're sleep deprived, your brain's reward center lights up like a Christmas tree for immediate gratification, while your loss processing center goes dark. What does this mean?
Junk food looks amazing. Staying disciplined feels impossible, and you make impulsive choices that destroy your progress. Studies found that even after mild sleep deprivation, people's ability to use negative feedback crashes. You literally can't learn from your failures and mistakes when you're tired. You just keep making the same self-sabotaging choices on repeat. How do you solve this? By getting non-negotiable 8 hours of sleep starting tonight. Count backwards from when you have to wake up. If your alarm is set for 6 a.m., you're in bed with your lights off and phone away at 10 p.m., not 10:15 p.m., 10 p.m. sharp. Get blackout curtains and a white noise machine, or use the Electrofan white noise machine that blocks out disruptions that wake you mid-cycle. Your room should be cave dark and silent if that's what you need. If you struggle with consistency, track your sleep data. Get an Oura Ring or Whoops 4.0 strap, which are wearables that track your sleep cycles, recovery, and readiness scores. 7 consecutive nights of 8-hour sleep windows will transform your decision-making, willpower, and emotional regulation more than any other single intervention. It's that simple. Number 8, practice self-compassion to break the shame-sabotage cycle. Every time you fail and beat yourself up about it, you make it worse. The shame creates stress. The stress makes you want to escape. You reach for comfort like food, Netflix, scrolling, or whatever, which creates more shame. The cycle compounds until you give up entirely. Self-critical people don't push harder when they fail. They quit. Self-compassionate people dust themselves off and try again. So, the next time you screw up, and you will, everyone does, pause before the self-hate spiral starts. Place your hand on your chest and say this out loud. Everyone struggles with this. I'm not uniquely broken. Or say, I'm doing my best with what I have right now. Tomorrow, I'll do better. That's it. Do not say things like, I'm such a piece of shit, or I always fail. No catastrophizing. Just acknowledgement, normalization, and commitment to continue. The goal isn't to eliminate failure, it's to change your response to failure. Self-criticism creates paralysis. Self-compassion creates resilience. People who practice self-compassion bounce back faster, maintain motivation longer, and achieve more because they don't waste energy hating themselves. You can also start a simple gratitude practice. Every night before bed, write 3 things you did well that day, no matter how small, like I made my bed, or I drank water instead of soda, or I didn't hit snooze today. Build evidence that you're capable. It's that simple. Number 9, design your environment to make good choices inevitable. You think you fail because you lack discipline. Wrong. You fail because your environment is designed to fail you. You see, willpower is a finite resource that depletes throughout the day. Environment design is infinite. It works 24/7 whether you feel motivated or not. About 23 studies in a comprehensive research review found that restructuring physical environments successfully changes behavior because environment beats willpower every single time. How do you change your environment? Start with auditing your space right now. Walk through your home and identify friction points. These are places where good choices are hard and bad choices are easy. Junk food at eye level in the pantry, that's sabotage. Workout clothes buried in a drawer, sabotage. Phone next to your bed, sabotage. TV visible from your desk, sabotage. Flip it. Make good choices frictionless. Place workout clothes on your dresser the night before. Pre-cut vegetables and store them in clear containers at eye level in your fridge. Keep a water bottle filled on your desk. Put your running shoes by the door. Unplug your TV and store the cord separately. Every environment decision is a vote cast in advance. When decision time comes, your tired, stressed, depleted self doesn't have to choose. The environment has already chosen for you. For workspace design, use tools like the Pomodoro Timer Cube to create time structure and the Electrofan white noise machine to eliminate auditory distractions. Remove clutter from your desk completely. Studies show cluttered environments increase stress hormones and decrease focus, so spend 1 hour this weekend redesigning your space for success. It's the highest ROI time investment you can make. Number 10, adopt a growth mindset and treat failure as data. When you fail, what do you tell yourself? I'm not good enough. I'll never figure it out. This isn't for me. That voice isn't truth. It's a fixed mindset, and it's killing your progress. Research shows that 88.9% of people with fixed mindsets immediately choose easier tasks after experiencing one failure. They don't persist, they retreat. People with growth mindsets, which is the belief that abilities develop through effort, show significantly stronger brain activity when reviewing mistakes. They're literally learning from failure while fixed mindset people's brains shut down. What you need to do is reframe failure as data collection. Every time something doesn't work, you've eliminated one path that leads nowhere. That's not failure, that's progress. Create a failure log in a notebook or note app, and every time you miss a goal, avoid a task, or fall back into old patterns, write down 3 things. First, what specifically happened? Use facts only and not emotional interpretation. Second, what external factors contributed? Were you tired, hungry, distracted, or was it an unexpected event? And third, what you'll test differently next time. It could be one specific change that will help you improve. Read through your failure log every Sunday so you can spot patterns. You get to see whether you always sabotage when you're hungry or tired or after social events, or maybe on Wednesdays. Once you see the pattern, you can design around it. You also need to change your language immediately.
For instance, replace the phrase "I can't" with "I can't yet, but I'm learning." Replace "I failed" with "That approach didn't work, so I'll try a different one." Replace "I'm bad at this" with "I'm improving at this with practice." The word "yet" is very critical. It signals to your brain that development is possible. Understand that a growth mindset isn't toxic positivity. It's recognizing that skills develop through strategic practice, not innate talent. When you hit obstacles, ask better questions like, "What can I learn from this?" instead of "Why does this always happen to me?" The first question opens possibilities. The second closes them. Which brings us to the end of today's videos. And I hate to tell you this, but the choice is yours now. You've got the research, you've got the strategies, you've got 10 proven ways to stop the cycle that's been keeping you stuck. The question isn't whether these work, because data already proves they do. The question is whether you'll actually use them. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for motivation to magically appear. Start with one tip from this list, just one. Implement it tomorrow morning. Track it for 7 days straight. Watch what happens. The house, the Lambo, the freedom, they're not reserved for people without problems. They're reserved for people who stop letting their problems run the show. It's that simple. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Which of these 10 strategies hit you hardest? Which one are you going to start with tomorrow? Which one has already helped you? Drop it in the comments below and let's discuss, shall we?